0 to 60 can define a performance car, but it's the fastest 60 to 0 that's the aim of Tyrrell's brakes. From road cars to race cars, circuits, special stages, or the autostrada, nothing reduces speed like Tyrrell's brakes. Italy gave the world the art of Da Vinci and Michelangelo. Tyrrell's has given drivers the art of stopping. For more information and to acquire your own masterpiece, visit tyrrell.co.uk. Yes, it's me, Mark Stone, and this is the Backseat Driver podcast. It's the fastest, it's the friendliest, and it's for all the family. The Gas Shocks 116 Trophy and 120 Coupe Cup are the fastest growing race series in the UK, taking in 6 one-hour races and 8 sprints at all the top circuits. Visit 116trophy.com to find out more and get yourself behind the wheel. From a pot of tea to TT motorbikes. From a classic English breakfast to a full serving of classic cars. Bridge House Tea Rooms is the Northwest premier classic car meeting location for cars, bikes, tractors and owners clubs. So no matter what your automotive appetite might be, visit Bridge House Farm Tea Rooms on their Facebook page or call John and Alicia on 07980 444 221 for show details and to reserve your own table and parking space. Welcome to the Backseat Driver podcast, Retromobile 2025 special with It's Me, Mark Stone, and the one, the only, the French diva herself, Marie Catherine Ligny. This year's show's a little bit different. Not as many pre-wars, but plenty of post-wars. Lots of new faces, lots of old faces, and it gave me a chance to chat with some fantastic guests. So sit back and enjoy my chats with a variety of people from Retromobile 2025, a show you don't want to miss, and of course a Backseat Driver podcast you definitely don't want to miss. Retromobile 2025, a major celebration of the Citroën DS. 70 years, and I'm here with the head of communication for DS, Benjamin Maigret. Benjamin, welcome to the Backseat Driver.
Thank you. Welcome.
I mean, the DS is an unbelievable car. It's still 70 years after its concept, still looks a modern car.
Yes, I think it's quite contemporary, this kind of car. So we are here to celebrate this great woman. As you said, 1955, the first presentation of the car at the Grand Palais in Paris, at the Paris Motor Show. And we are here to celebrate this car and at the same time to say that we have a clear link between the past and the future. Because we are also here presenting in the first public premiere the new car, the DS number 8. And we open the orders of this car today. So there was a kind of wink for us to say that we are anchored in the past, 70 years. We are still a young brand though, 10 years for DS Automobile, which cut the link with Citroën 10 years ago, and we are launching a brand new car here at Retromobile.
When you cut from Citroën, I mean, how did this come about? Who decided that DS would be its own brand?
This was one of the first decisions of our former president, Mr. Tavares, when he came, to say, if we want to be premium, if we want to grow up, then we have to cut the link with Citroën and to separate the two strategies clearly. More mainstream oriented for Citroën and high-end premium for DS Automobile.
But I mean, the one thing about the DS, it was, to go back to Citroën, their premier vehicle, and it did incredibly well as a rally car on a lot of the endurance rallies.
Yes, rally, movies as well.
Yes.
It's an icon, just like the Concorde or the TGV. It's a car which promotes the French savoir-faire, the French culture in France, but not only. It's also one of the unique cars that are exhibited in the MoMA in New York, which is kind of amazing for this car.
And of course its ability, I don't know whether the new one will have it. Will it have the ability to drive on 3 wheels?
This new one, we didn't test so far. Maybe we should. It's not exactly the same hydraulic suspension for sure, but we now have what we call the DS Active Scan suspension, which is imagined on the same spirit as this hydraulic suspension, which means that it's a technological interpretation of this historic suspension of the new number 8, where you have a camera which just scans the road in advance and sees all the irregularities of the road. So same spirit, same technological spirit, 70 years after.
Do you think Rolls-Royce will be using the new suspension technology?
We don't know, but it's a nice parallel for us when you mean Rolls-Royce. Of course, we are not Rolls-Royce. We don't compete with Rolls-Royce.
But Rolls-Royce use your DS suspension.
They can, yeah, sure.
On the original Shadows, they use the suspension.
Yes, they use this original suspension. Mercedes also have some nice suspensions today, what they call the active body control, which is kind of the same logic as the one we have on the number 8. The objective is to promote absolute comfort for the customers. That's it.
And whose concept was the major display here at Retromobile? The DS with the 4 large orange balloons as its tyres, as its wheels.
That's a nice story. We met the Garak, so it's a school, and many students had the project to make this DS balloon relive, because this was originally an advertising from 1959 made by the former head of advertising for Citroën, Claude Puech, and this car disappeared. And we said with the head of Retromobile, Romain Grabowski, what if we could just make this car appear again? Yeah. So we took an old one, and the students worked for, let's say, 6 or 8 months, quite intensively, to make this car here today. And this is the star of the fair. This is also the star on the billboard, and this is it.
I'm going to say this is the star. I mean, I was here last night for the official opening. Every poster, every cup, everything about Retromobile 2025 features that car. So you must be very happy with it.
Yes, we are very happy, very proud of the work which was done by the students. Really, incredible job.
And will that go in the museum when the show is finished?
That's the objective for sure, and also to make a kind of roadshow of this car in the dealerships, the DS stores within DS, to promote this car and to show all the skills of these nice students.
Benjamin, let's hope that the new one is around for 70 years, but thanks very much for joining me on the Backseat Driver.
Thank you.
Here at Retromobile, this time on the BRM stand with Paul Owen, one of the men himself. Paul, welcome to the Backseat Driver.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Now, we've just been chatting, and besides the Jean-Pierre Beltois car and the famous V16, without giving too much away, what's happening for the 75th anniversary of BRM?
We've got a number of events planned, Mark, and we're here on the Spark model stand at Retromobile, very kindly invited by Spark with the 2 cars. So this is the launch of BRM's 75th anniversary celebrations, and we're just in the final stages of planning all of the different events, but there will be half a dozen or so events celebrating BRM's 75th anniversary at various tracks and locations around the country. But once the programme is finalised, I'm sure you'll be one of the first to know.
Just out of interest, for those who do want to know, is there a website that they can go on to find out what's happening and where?
Yes, www.britishracingmotors.co.uk. There's nothing on there at the moment until the plans are finalised. But on that website, you can sign up to a newsletter that will keep everyone informed. And the marketing team are putting together a specific 75th anniversary page. So, yep, absolutely, that's the best way to follow us.
And what's been the French reaction to the 2 F1 cars as such?
I've only been here, I arrived last night and have been at the show this morning, but it's just fascinating watching a constant stream of people walking past, stopping, taking photographs. I think the fact that the P160 is an actual Jean-Pierre Beltoise car certainly helps, and Antoine Beltoise was, I understand, here yesterday, and there's a picture of him sitting on the wheel. But obviously Jean-Pierre won BRM's last Grand Prix at Monaco in 1972, so it's a very special history with BRM and the French. And our last full season racing in Formula One in '74 was, of course, with Motul, and that was the only ever time that Motul had a headline sponsorship in Formula One. We're very lucky to have a great relationship with Motul. So, despite being called British Racing Motors, the BRM French connection is very strong indeed.
Though it's just on display, are there intentions by BRM to run the V16?
Our V16 will certainly be running this year, at various 75th anniversary events.
Including France?
I'll keep you posted on that, Mark. I mean, certainly we built the car to be seen and heard, and to share the sound and the experience with others at racing speed. So if the right event comes along and the stars align, then we will with pleasure sort of race it and demo it and show it in all its glory.
I mean, I would say the only engine that holds a similar noise and similar, shall we say, great esteem with BRM's V16 is probably Matra's V12, but they are the two engines that sound like no other.
That's correct, and I love the Matra V12s. I also love the BRM V12s. They sound pretty special on full song. But we did a piece with Top Gear last year at their feature on what they called the Tunnel Run, and that's readily available on the internet. But it's quite interesting, the Stig driving the V16, and I think the BRM was the only car that actually broke their decibel meter, so louder than the NASCAR that went through, louder than the various other things, and that's well worth a watch. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of views of it already, and it really is quite a spectacular beast, absolutely.
And the other thing is the V16 and all the rest of them need to be out there doing the business, if only to convince the youngsters that you don't want to listen to an EV, you need to listen to these guys.
Absolutely. The historic racing internal combustion engines are a sound like no other, and it's quite interesting watching all the comments around the V16 and the engine noise compared to modern Formula One. I think that the V10 Formula One period was pretty spectacular. That was a good noise, but and it's interesting, obviously, that Bugatti have now put a V16 engine in one of their cars. So it's a pretty exclusive club, and sort of BRM, Auto Union, Bugatti is it's not bad company to be keeping, is it?
Paul Owen, thank you very much for joining me on the Backseat Driver, and have an excellent Retromobile.
Thank you, Mark. Pleasure.
Here at Retromobile with Marc Constanduros with the BRM display. Mark, welcome to the Backseat Driver.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you here.
What brings BRM to Retromobile?
Well, we're here because this year, 2025, is the 75th anniversary of BRM, and we're here in conjunction with Spark Models, and they produce some very fantastic, very scaled versions of BRM model cars. And so we've sort of teamed up with them. So we've got a big display of their model cars, but we've also brought some real ones along. So we've got some cracking Formula One cars here.
What's the reaction been to the cars, especially the famous V16?
I think the V16 always attracts a lot of interest. It's quite a beast of a thing, as we all know, very loud. But here we've got it uncovered, so people can see that fantastic V16 engine and see the wonders of engineering in there. And then we've also got Jean-Pierre Beltoire's BRM from the 70s here, which is these 70s Formula One cars are fantastic. The big sort of chunky fat tyres and the big rear wings, it's great. And actually Anthony Beltoire's was here last night, so we took a few pictures with him with it.
I mean, as you said, these are cars that they look like F1 cars, they sound like F1 cars. They were driven by proper F1 type drivers, weren't they? I mean, as time goes on, I'm afraid I lose interest in F1, but it's nice to see these about.
Oh, absolutely, and I think it's all about introducing it to a new generation. And I think with BRM, they're champions in 1962, and this is the whole idea of what BRM want to do. It's to introduce the marque to a generation that really don't know anything about it. But BRM were one of those early privateer teams that came out to challenge the factory teams, with success in 62 with Graham Hill, and now it's bringing the cars out, working with owners and using anniversaries to say, look, here we are, this is what we did, but also what are we going to do moving forward.
Is there any chance of the BRM starting to make more appearances in France? Because I mean, France boasts some absolutely fantastic classic F1 events.
Well, I think there's always a demand for cars at events across the world, and I think if the opportunity is right, then yes, we would take the V16 to the events and we'd try and run them. But it's just having the right invitation at the right time. Like everything, the event calendars are so full. But yeah, we'd be open to opportunities, absolutely, and love to do it. Everyone loves a V16.
And you've got to introduce the French to the sound of the earth crust being ripped apart, haven't you?
Oh, absolutely. It's actually very funny when people who really don't know anything about the car are standing beside it and it fires up and you just see them running for cover. Their ears splitting, hands over their head, but they come back in absolute awe and wonder of it. But it's not just the V16 as we've got here on the stand. We are trying to say, BRM raced in the 70s. This is the car that they raced with, which with the Marlboro sponsorship, it's the turning point of big wings, fat tyres and sponsors. And BRM was still there at that time.
And it's nice to see. Marc Considuris, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Thanks very much for joining me on the Backseat Driver.
No, thank you for having me.
Here at Retromobile with Marc Ouayoun, yes?
Oh yes, it's me, but the interview is this guy, no?
No, we do Francois Blood Sausage later.
Oh, okay.
You are the new CEO of Peter Auto.
Absolutely, I have this pleasure and this honor.
And what's it like taking on such an incredible responsibility?
It's a huge challenge, but I take it with humility, but also determination to elevate it further. The new shareholder of ACO of Peter Auto is ACO, together with ACO, but I think the fact that I'm very close to the ACO and Pierre Fillon gives us the possibility to imagine developing the company in the direction of Le Mans Classic, maybe extending the Le Mans Classic with newer series, and doing, you see for example this year we also brought some very nice live concerts, and that gives us a possibility also to attract new generation, younger people and people that come for the concert, while others are driving on the track, and bring that together to do a big show. So yeah, I think there are lots of things to do to develop for Peter Auto, not only in Le Mans Classic but also maybe for the season.
Now, one of the things that, especially in England, historic motorsport is having to open its doors to allow newer cars to enter, or younger cars, to attract a new audience who, a lot of younger people, don't remember the old racing cars.
No, I think that we as organizers, we need to do something on that, because of course there is a generational shift. The people who drive E-Type, for example, drive an E-Type because that speaks to them. They know the car, they have seen the car maybe when they were young. So these guys are of course getting older. But what we need to do, need to create stories and keep the memory alive, also for younger generation. And we can do that via live, live broadcasting, we can do that with social media, we can do that with storytelling. And if we do that, we will have a new generation coming to these cars because they are cool cars to drive.
Yeah.
We see that for the pre-war cars. You know that for pre-war, you have younger guys who started to drive Bugattis and so on. And I think that we can do exactly the same for the most iconic cars from the 60s before they fade, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a question of really not only racing, but activating and telling stories about racing at that time, because that was a cool time, you know?
Have you any new events in mind, like maybe recreating the Alpine Rally or anything like that, which I would love to see?
I would love to have an Alpine Rally, but what I would like to have is a rally with a story and with history, you know?
Yeah.
So right now I don't have it, but why not? Why not? If I can find a good way to have an Alpine Rally for Peter Otto, it would be nice. But right now my main topic is thinking about the series, maybe extending a little bit, for example, the touring cars to more recent cars. The main story now is about pampering and developing the ERL series, you know, between the 2000, after the Group C to 2005, 2010. It's a series that speaks to a young generation, and we love it. Everybody loves it, so I'm really working a lot on this now. And why not? The history of Le Mans starts in 23, and we could imagine having cars that are a little bit more recent, because historic racing is coming closer and closer to new car racing.
Yes.
You know that. So I think we can do something maybe after maybe 2010, 2015 with cars that are not in our series today. But that's just a project right now. I don't want to talk too much about that. We'll see what we can do.
Marc Ouayoun, you have my heartiest congratulations and best wishes on taking over from a man who was a friend of mine, Patrick Peter.
Yeah.
So I hope all goes well. I expect to see more great things.
Big feat, but I try to keep it up. And my first trip, by the way, was in England, where I visited the teams in UK, because I think that we have lots of customers and many nice customers in UK, and for me it was important to keep in touch and also to promise that the magic recipe of Peter Otto will remain, and that we'll try to extend and develop things that are attracting new generation, keeping our races so attractive. We're working a lot on that. So keep it up, keep posted.
Once again, Marc Ouayoun, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Here at Retromobile with Hug Repair, the man who now owns the Tyrrell brand. How did this come about?
Well, it was an honor that Bob Tyrrell offered this opportunity, because I met Bob 25 years ago, and we were meeting every year at the toy fair, and every time we met he was talking about the team, his father, a lot of stories inside the team, and we get closer and closer. We are discussing more about personal things than business, model car business. And a few years ago, he told me that he would like someone to endorse the brand and to represent the brand, and he offered me this opportunity. So I was very surprised and honored. And then after discussing, we discussed to move ahead and to confirm the deal.
So, though you don't own any of the cars, you own everything else. But you will you be able to get the use of a Tyrrell F1 car?
Yes, we have a plan to start a classic team Tyrrell, starting from the French historical Grand Prix in April, to run some Tyrrell, and we will try to create a Tyrrell community, to invite Tyrrell owners to organize meetings. We have another plan for next year to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the P34, which is an icon, with a small world tour starting from UK, the Monaco Grand Prix, and ideally organize an event in Japan to celebrate the 50 years of the first Japanese Grand Prix in the same time. This will happen in November 26, exactly 50 years after the first Japanese Grand Prix. So yes, this is our plan for the next 2 years here. And next year, so this year we are very proud to represent BRM here at Retromobile, and next year we will have for sure we'll have some Tyrrell cars on our booth.
And the other great thing about Tyrrell is it was an iconic team that was driven by one of France's and the world's most iconic drivers, Francois Sévère. So I conclude that somewhere the Sévère will be built into it all.
Yes, this is another interesting thing because there was always a connection with French people, starting from Matra, then French drivers, François Sévère, Patrick Depailler. So yes, there's a continuation. French sponsor with Health, so we are very proud and happy to continue the story of Tyrrell cooperating with British and French people. Yeah?
Hugues Ripert, thank you very much for joining me on the Backseat Driver, and all the best with one of the great British team names.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we will keep you informed about our program.
Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
Here at Retromobile with a Backseat Driver regular now, the one, the only Gérard Gamont, who's launching yet another one of his books. Gérard, welcome to the Backseat Driver once again.
Oh, thank you very much, and thank you for you.
Right, the new book it itemises all the chassis of F1 cars, does it not? I mean, you better give me the title in French, I'll never manage that one.
It's like a Bible. It's incredible. We have the chassis number for every car, for every Grand Prix between 50 and 60.
Yeah.
It's a work incredible. We spent a lot of years for that, and I think we are very near of the reality.
Yeah. How long did it take yourself and Christophe Hubert to write this, or to compile it?
Yeah. Christophe is a man who work on the chassis number since about 30 years, and we put together our archive, and we work with our archive and compare and discuss and cut and begin again, and it was a really a work together, all together.
Now, how did you go on? Because a lot of some chassis will change their numbers occasionally, won't they? There'll be an accident, and the chassis will reappear as another number.
Yes, we have worked with many pictures, and with very deeply examine pictures, examine work archive, and compare. And because during this year, chassis was easily reconciled with some detail, and working with the pictures of period picture, it's a proof that you can't modify. Yeah.
Now this is volume 1.
Yeah, just the tom 1. It's just the first part, and we are starting for 30 years of work now.
So this will take you well into old age, won't it?
Yeah, and the second part was during 61 and 70.
Yeah.
And after 71 to 80, and after 81 to 90, we could work during 40 years.
Yeah. And are you still testing cars? Are you still driving F1 cars?
Of course. Of course. I'm testing the Ferrari 2 SWB, this one, and BBM, Lamborghini. Yes.
Yeah.
Every 3 months, I test a very interesting racing car.
Do you have a favourite circuit that you make for, or are you not bothered?
Not really. I like very much big track like Imola, in Italia, like Brands Hatch, but in France we have Le Castellet, And in 2 months it will be the French Grand Prix historic French Grand Prix. It will be with one on March 742 Formula 2. And yes, I love.
Do you ever come to England?
What?
Do you ever come over to England to test?
Not program for next month, no. But why not? If you have a very interesting car, I can do Silverstone, Donington, Brands Hatch, like you want.
Right. I can't really accommodate with you with the car. I have a brand new Alpine A110, but I don't think you'd be interested in that.
No, no, I prefer Monoposto and the big. I don't know the term. The Barquette. Yeah. I prefer Formula 2 or Formula 1.
Once again, Gerard Gamon, thank you very much for joining me on the Backseat Driver, and all success with your constantly developing books and publications.
Thank you very much for your visit. Thank you.
Here at Retromobile with Jean-Fred Hoivy, a man who drives a Ford Mustang, and a man who is writing a book on anecdotes of Le Mans. You've been there nearly as long as Le Mans been there. Welcome to the Backseat Driver, Jean-Fred.
Hello, so nice to meet you. And yes, first time I went in Le Mans, it was in 1972 with my father. I hear the music of the V12 Matra first time.
Nothing sounds like one of those, does it?
It was very, very pure, much pure than the Mazda in 1991, especially in 1972 because the exhaust pipe was a certain way, and they changed it for 73. So the sound of the Matra from 72 was like Stuka, you know, like my father. My father told me it was like a Stuka. He made the Exodus during the war with his parents, and he said exactly the same noise.
Yeah. So, I mean, what have you been doing at Le Mans for all these years?
So between 72 and 85, I was a spectator. Then in 86, I asked for a press pass. And then the first time between 86 to 94, I was a Minitel. You know what Minitel was? It was a little box, not like a computer, a little like a computer, but we made some, for people who went in the French Minitel, it was like the teletext in England. So, but it was interactive, so you can ask question, what's happened in Le Mans this year? And say I was in the press room and I say, oh, okay, the Porsche is in leading, and now is the another car is leading, etc. And then after 94, I was in the association which is Infocourse, made by the wife of the former speaker, Jean-Charles Laurence. It was a very famous speaker at Le Mans. And then since 2020, I was lucky to be at Le Mans in 2020. I'm working with Jean-Marc Tessed and with Thibaut Villemont for the annual yearbook.
Right.
Right.
Because that's a very impressive publication, the annual yearbook.
Yes, and so we spend the night to write everything during the night, because I'm young, so I make the night, and Jean-Marc makes the day, and so we're writing every fact during the race. And also, since 2012, I'm the night speaker in Le Mans Classic.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult because there is no many people during night. So and we have sometimes, the pre-work cars are very slow, so we have to tell story about Aston Martin, MG, that kind of
Bentley.
Pre-work Bentley, yes. Bentley are pretty fast, or the Talbots, and so we spoke. I invite some friend and we make some interview, and then sometimes we say, the Bentley is first. No, the Talbot is second, etc., etc.
As you sit and wait for them to come round again, because they are quite slow going round, aren't they, compared to the great Group C cars and things like that.
Yeah, so it makes the lap in between 6 and 7 minutes for the most powerful car, because some little one, the Montier Special, which is a modified Ford T. It was a 1923, 24 and 25 car. The lap is nearly 10 minutes. So imagine in 1993 spectators waiting. The track was longer, much longer. So one car, it was 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes, four laps in 1 hour.
So Retromobile, what's your opinion of Retromobile?
It's wonderful. It's magic, because you can have during 4 days in Paris, many cars, many race cars. This year there is many Formula One. You have supercar, you have old GT car, you have Formula One, you have Group C, you have all the history of the car. And for people who don't like sports car, you have also Austin 7 and Maurice Minor, Austin Mini, Peugeot 404, etc. You have everything in one place during 1 week, and it's still since 25 years, something like that.
And I have to ask a Frenchman, why a Ford Mustang?
Because when I was young, I was living in the United States with my parents, and I was 6 years old, and then a friend of my parents have a black convertible, and said, "Come on, Jean-Frédéric, come with me. We will go to the mall." And I climbed in this car, and after I said to my mother, when I was big, when I was adult, I will have that car. Yeah. And so purchased it 27 years ago. It was my, what you say, Madeleine de Proust, which is the good memories of a child. So I have to have this car.
Do you get to use it very often?
Not anymore, but because I'm living in Paris, so it's difficult to drive in Paris. But when I was living in Toulouse or in Lyon, I was driving everywhere, every time, going to the supermarket with, etc. Not anymore. In Paris, it's impossible.
Jean-Fred, thanks very much for joining me on the Backseat Driver. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Well, that concludes part one of the Retromobile 2025 special here on the Backseat Driver podcast. Tune in next Wednesday, same time, same place, for part two, when we shall be chatting with artists, designers, and myself and the French diva herself, Marie Catherine Ligny, will be summing up with our conclusions on this year's fantastic event. Rarely beaten on price, never beaten on service. Whether it's cars, bikes, or commercials, Hodder Tyres are the best in the business. And when it comes to tyre expertise and advice to supplying the correct tyres for your vehicle's specific requirements, nobody comes close to David Lakin and the Hodder Tyres team. So give them a call on 01200 613 192 or visit the website at hoddertyres.co.uk.